Hi everybody, it's Allison Dawrant coming to you from my studio here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And in front of me, I have the most recent Uppercase magazine that was just delivered to my mailbox. I got it last evening. I ran to the mailbox because I was checking all last week. And I feel so honored to say that I'm in this publication. So it was a bit of a surprise. I didn't find out, it was probably about a month ago that I found out that I was going to be featured in here. So this is my first time actually opening the magazine, and I just wanted to share. So it's called Uppercase, and here in Calgary you can purchase Uppercase at a few of our local smaller art stores, such as Kensington Art Supply down in Deerfoot Meadows area. You can also subscribe to Uppercase, and even if you wanted to order back issues, you can do that. This is just one of my favorite art magazines. It's full of inspiration, and I really appreciate that there's an emphasis on, even repurposing, seeing what you can make out of these brown mailers. Janine does a really great job of just being really mindful about the environment, and it's an all-inclusive magazine, and I really love that. So I'm super excited just to do a flip through. I recognize these from my bookshelf. I've done other videos with these issues, and I'm just going to take you on a quick flip through, but I do recommend, if it's in your budget, to consider a subscription to this magazine, or even watching for maybe an issue that might be one you'll go back to depending on the theme. So there's themes such as a book all on art supplies, or Botanica. I just love that one. Actually, I have it here on my shelf. Let me just grab it. Let me just see. Okay, I'm not seeing it jump off. That is so funny. Okay. I don't edit my videos, so you all are just gonna have to pause for a second. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Yeah, so these are two of my favorite books that I think you can still order these from Uppercase. This one is all about just art supplies and an introduction to some beautiful artists. I really, I just think of these as books that I'll always have. They're kind of keeper books instead of ones that I'll pass along and donate. And so I will link Uppercase in the description, but I'm just gonna sneak forward here. And so much inspiration. I'm gonna do a fairly quick flip through here. Sorry for the truck out there and the big engine. I have my window open, which is so nice. Here's a little write-up on artists that pay attention to detail, finding magic in the details. So again, there's different themes in this magazine, which I really appreciate. And so I'm so excited. I just can't wait to actually see my my spread. I think I have a page. Here we go. And I'm gonna just zoom you all in. I feel so honored that I'm actually sharing this side of the page with textile artist Allison Dawson, and it's too funny. So she's from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, and my name, of course, Allison Dawrant, and we're beside each other. And before I was an artist, a painter, I actually used to create jewelry, and I feel like we have so much in common, and it was really sweet. She actually had reached out to me and said, hey, I feel so honored we're sharing a page in Uppercase. And yeah, so I feel like just being in this magazine has already just sparked new connections, which I feel like is so important for my artist why. So do check out Allison Dawson, textile artist. You can purchase these gorgeous necklaces. She does a lot of repurposing with vintage ties, which I think is so cool. Really, really unique jewelry. So Allison Dawson Jewlery.com and Alison with one L, so I can link that. And then this, I'm just so pleased. This is just a photo of my studio and me working here. I was using a shell that I had collected from my childhood from Nova Scotia, so that's a very special shell that I have just always used to put my watercolor paint in. Another little picture of my table, and this artwork here is artwork that I did on brown toned paper. I loved this collection. This was a collection I had titled Finding Frida One Stitch at a Time because I used a lot of embroidery in here. So a bit hard to see from this image on the page, but I really want to revisit that style. And also embroidery, I feel like it really helps me slow down and it's so enjoyable. So Finding Frida One Stitch at a Time, that had sold, but it was just a work on paper. And then, oh, Oakley did appear with me. So in the background here, I'm just gonna put you guys down a little bit. And so this is a photo of Oakley and I in one of my front rooms of my home, and this is an iris painting, which I've done so much more on. This was a work in progress, so you can just see the outline, and I love painting irises, and I can't wait to share that painting when it's finished. It's pretty big though, so I have a long ways to go. And yeah, just really grateful to have this little write-up in here. So I feel so honored to be in this magazine with so many other beautiful creatives and artists. And I'm just gonna bring you back, whoops, back up the other way. Sorry for the wobbly ride there. And speaking of, well, I kind of wanna, I think for those of you that have been following me, this is not gonna be a painting video or a technique video. This is just going to be sort of how I started my YouTube videos. Today, just sharing inspiration because that's what I need most for myself today. I have just had a really busy summer so far, and I have a well, my son's going into grade 2, but it's very busy just because, of course, over the summer our family schedules change a lot, and family is my #1 priority. I just wanted to say hi, let you know I'm all here, and I can put a discount code if you would like to subscribe to Uppercase. I believe if you use the code Allison10, you can get 10% off orders over $50, and I believe that's $50 Canadian. So I'll link that in just in case you're interested in this issue or back issues. And they also have, some of the back issues are these sweet little you little you magazines. So creativity for the young at heart, and just a really sweet book with great craft ideas, great sort of artist features. Just can't help but look through some of these books with my son and get inspired. So just wanted to share that, and I can't wait to go into more detail in this before bed tonight and just read it. The other thing I wanted to share is I was taking a course through Wendy Brightbill, and it was a course where I met 38 other artists from around the world, and we kind of worked together. We did a lot of Zooms, and it was a very intensive course from January through to, where are we now? Right through to July here. It just ended at the end of June. And I met Arit Landgraf. Now, Arit is currently an artist working out of Austria, and it was just so neat to be able to catch her on some of the Zooms. And this is her book titled Watercolor Freedom. I'm just starting to dive into Arit's YouTube videos because she has the most incredible, inspiring videos, and she also just launched a new course and I believe it's a course that has to do with painting botanicals and watercolor. And she really makes it easy for people that are just starting out, or, you know, creatives that may have more experience. And she had kindly sent me this book, and it is wonderful. It gives such a good overview of watercolor, and I really like that she shares her story. So Irit was a medical doctor and is now an artist, and I felt I could kind of connect to her that way because, you know, my background is that I worked as an RN for quite a number of years. So this book, the only thing she had told me is she, I'm just going to see if I can change. Oh, there we go. So this book is just a wealth of information. It's very easy to get through. It's super inspiring. She's very, very detailed. It's so cool that she has such a creative side to her, even though, you know, going through medical school, she was using that other side of her brain. And it's just, I'm just so proud of her, even though I don't know her that well, but just to see how far she's come and how she's followed her passion for art. The only thing she had told me is she was a bit disappointed in the quality of this book, and she was sort of new to publishing, and it takes a long time. I mean, it takes a long time just to get ready to publish something, and quality really varies. It can be very expensive, of course, going different routes for publishing a book. And so she did say, you know, unfortunately the quality wasn't quite what she had hoped. But to be honest, you know, it's just pulling those concepts. And even though this may be a little bit less vibrant than some other books, you know, and the paper quality is maybe a little bit more, I would say it's a little bit thinner, you know, this wouldn't affect my interpretation of how I would use this book. So I just wanted to share that I'm going to link this. I believe if you purchase this book straight from her website, that would be best, as she would get more back, versus you can order this book on Amazon, at least Amazon Canada, probably just Amazon. I don't know if Amazon's worldwide now, at least North America. So just maybe consider looking at her website first. And I just really wanted to share this for her. She has also kindly offered to share my art poetry deck. And that's something that I look forward to going over with you all today. So she goes through a lot of mixed media and watercolor techniques, which is really neat. It's just a way to, you know, if you are starting to enjoy watercolors and maybe you want to dabble in more mixed media, this is a great book. And again, her free YouTube videos or her page, I think she has a monthly membership. I'm sure it's all very wonderful, just knowing how much she puts her heart and soul into her work and what she does. So that's Watercolor Freedom by Irit Landgraf. And speaking of my art poetry deck, so those of you that follow me know that I had published this 71 card deck of my art, and I'm just going to do a little shuffle and pick a card today. Don't you love how I shuffle? There's not really a rhyme or a reason to it. And this says, allow for abundance and be open to receive. And this little painting, actually, I think I have it, the original, beside me here. Let me look. So I don't know if I had showed you all what I had done. After I published my deck, I put the some of the artwork that I had created just for the card deck. I had mounted it to wood panel, just for fun, and sort of made a really rough torn edge around the outside and used gesso to bulk it up. And then I used watercolor Dorland's wax sealant just to kind of protect the watercolor. So it's a very different look, but I think it turned out kind of neat. So these have been on my wall in my art room, and I'm just deciding if I might list some of them. So these are, again, the original artworks of my cards, and I have, I think, about 5 of them. And so I love signing up the side of the board, and these are just, I think they're about 5 or 6 inches. But I just thought I would kind of share the original work and show you what I had done with it. I think in hindsight, I would have loved to have mounted it in a way that didn't look so rough. But it's also, you know, I do these art poetry paintings to embrace imperfection and to add texture to a painting that would otherwise be quite flat with watercolor. So that just gives you a little example of some of these. And just, yeah, I'll just let you sit with this card for my intention for the video. I might pull another one just for fun today. And this says, trust the process and let your story unfold. And this is one of my favorite watercolor mountain paintings, titled, And There You'll Be. And that has a lot of meaning for me. And just remembering we all have a story, and feeling like if you can somehow tap into that story as you create, as you do art, maybe slowly sharing your story with others, that's a really, I think that's just an amazing thing that we have as creatives, as artists, as humans, just that we all are unique and have our own story. And it's quite amazing to connect with other people through our story. So I'm slowly starting to share my story, or my stories, but it has taken quite a bit of time, of course. So again, this is my art poetry for insights and inspiration artist card deck. It's 71 cards. It's very thick, 350 gram cardstock, and it's to facilitate moments of stillness. Each card is a visual reminder that the present moment holds much beauty and guides us with new insights and inspiration. This deck of cards can be a source of comfort and healing during difficult times. Choose a card in the morning or at night, or whenever a thoughtful moment invites. Art holds the power of connection and evoking change, and I'm grateful you chose my art poetry. This art poetry deck is $60 Canadian, and then shipping is added depending on which country you're in. If you're in the US, I believe it works out to be about $78 Canadian, which is of course much lower when converted to US currency. But that just gives you an idea of this deck. So it is available. Canada Post is back to shipping. I don't always get tracking with the small business, but I have shipped probably over 650 decks worldwide now, and maybe have only had issues with a handful, maybe 2 or 3, and eventually they did get to where they needed to be. That was just a little plug for myself. I also wanted to follow up with you that are regular subscribers to my channel, just how much I appreciate you. And as you know, Roben Marie Smith, beautiful mixed media artist, she had shared my deck on her blog and on her Instagram. And boy, did I get busy, and I just feel so lucky. Sorry, I'm just gonna, oh, I just have a call coming in. I'm just gonna finish up this video here, but I mounted this canvas print of hers to Cradled Panel, and I think it looks amazing. And so I will link her artist papers that I had purchased, and just for fun for myself, I just felt these canvas prints that my printer had done of her work are just incredible. So this is her digital art that you can purchase on her website, and I had it printed into canvas print. So I see I have a call coming through that I need to take, so I'm gonna sign off now, but I will do another video very soon. I think I'll do a part 2 of this video because there's a lot of things that I want to share. So I will leave you with this little mini Embrace Imperfection, and we will see you soon.